Hi, Princeton Tigers. Today we're going to be reviewing perfect squares and square roots to get ready for our benchmark tomorrow. So a perfect square is a number that can be written as another number squared. For example, 16 is a perfect square because it can be written as what number squared? Right, 4 squared. You can write this in exponential notation. I can't do exponential notation on a computer, so I'm just going to do my caret. Or 4 times 4. All right, so what are 3 examples of perfect squares? I already had some left over in here from last time, but 3 examples. The first one that we just did is 16, because 16 equals 4 times 4. Another example is 25, because 25 equals 5 times 5. Give me 2 more examples of perfect squares. For non-examples of perfect squares, what's a non-example? 8 is not a perfect square. 12 is not a perfect square. Give me 2 more non-examples of perfect square. Looking at the next problem, which of the following are perfect squares? All right. 64 is a perfect square because it can be written as 8 times 8. 66 is that a perfect square? No. Is 49 a perfect square? Yes. Is 21 a perfect square? No. Go ahead and do the you do problem and then continue the video. All right, so now we're going to review square roots. The square root of a perfect square is the number that can be squared to get the perfect square. So what is the square root of 16? What number can you square in order to get 16? The square root of 16 is 4 because 4 squared equals 16. So then what is the square root of 25? Right, the square root of 25 will be 5. Go ahead and finish up these 2 problems, the square root of 36 and the square root of 47. Going down to the bottom for the square root of 71, is 71 a perfect square? No, it's not. So how can you solve this? You can use a calculator to solve this. If you just plug in the square root symbol, so you're going to plug in the square root symbol, then you're going to plug in open parentheses, 71, or the open parentheses will already appear, you plug in 71, and then you put your closed parentheses in, and then that will give you the answer. Do the you do problem independently. When you get to the back of the page, we're going to be reviewing our perfect squares and perfect cubes, as well as doing some practice problems at the bottom. At the top, when you have 1 squared, how many times are you multiplying 1 by itself? 2 times. So you're going to plug into your calculator, or this one you should be able to do by yourself. What is 1 times 1? 2 squared will be the same thing, 2 multiplied by itself 2 times. Same with 3 squared and the rest of the squared problems. Looking at cube numbers, how many times are you multiplying the number by itself if you are cubing it? 3 times. So it's 1 times 1 times 1. For 2 cubes, you're doing 2 times 2 times 2. This will give you what? It will give you 8. It will not give you 6 because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8. Go ahead, either independently or with the calculator, do the rest of the squareds and the rest of the cubes. When you get to the bottom, you're reviewing square roots. The last 2 down here, you will need a calculator for. Good luck, and then we'll get together and do more review of square roots and cube roots at the end of class. Once you're done with the worksheet, go on to SD Math.